G'day everybody, it's Craig Cobb here from Trade with Precision with another free newsletter for the 23rd of April 2013. And guys, just wanted to sort of touch on something a little bit differently this week because I speak to a lot of you. I speak to a lot of clients. I reply to a lot of your emails. I'm one of the traders here. I'm one of the mentors here. So I get to see what a lot of people are doing and some common mistakes people are making. So along with the watch list this week, looking at some of the charts that I like the look of, I'm also going to add some little bits and pieces in there to help to understand what we're looking for. Because there's no point really in trading if you don't know what to look for. If you don't have a plan, you don't have a structure. So the first one we're going to look at here is Aussie against the dollar. Aussie against the dollar here on the weekly, you can see that we're quite clearly bashing around between these two levels, and we have been doing so for quite a while now. Going all the way back to 2012, back in November, we've been hitting this level, falling back, finding support, finding resistance, finding support, finding resistance. So we can see that we're in a channel there. So how do we trade in that channel? Well, we come down to the daily and we look at the daily, and do we just sell when we get up here? Well, we shouldn't do. And do we just buy when we get down to the bottom? Again, we shouldn't do. But how can we manage to take advantage of the moves that we are seeing bounce between here and here? And can we do it on a chart like Aussie against the dollar with a high probability and the low level for risk, which is the way that we always like to trade it, Trade with Precision. When we compare this Aussie against the dollar chart to the chart of Aussie against the Swiss, I'm going to show you some very simple technical ingredients here, technical elements that help us to define whether it's a good trade and tradable market or not tradable. The first one to look at right here is this. Here's this level again, a very strong level of resistance. Test here, test here, test here, here, here. Now this is on the monthly chart. It goes back quite a long way. Now if I just come back and look at the weekly chart itself, you can see on Aussie Swiss, it's very similar to what we saw on Aussie against the dollar. We're clinging to the top, to the bottom, to the top, to the bottom, to the top, and then we're moving back lower. It's very, very similar. As a matter of fact, this level of resistance goes back a whole lot further, as we saw on the monthly, than Aussie against the dollar. So once again, how do we trade when we're in this sort of a ranging market? Because it's quite clear the probabilities of bouncing are quite substantial, and the probabilities of moving to these old lows is also quite high. So what we do is this. Note straight away, what we have is a clear series of lower lows and lower highs. Here's a high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. We're now in a downtrend within that weekly and monthly channel. This provides us with opportunities to find trades to the short side to take advantage of the possible move down to this support level. You don't just trade for the sake of being in a trade. You don't just trade because it's likely to be drawn down here. It's not just about getting direction right. It's about your timing. It's about your risk management. I mean, how many times have people out there actually got the direction of the markets right, yet they've made a loss or numerous losses along that correct direction? It's not just about getting direction right, guys. Having these technical ingredients, one so simple as trend, and we use a number of different technical ingredients at Trade with Precision, as you are all very, very aware. But this is just one very simple one. Now this Aussie Swiss becomes something on my watch list. Now I'm looking at Aussie Swiss for opportunities to sell short into this market and look to reclaim or claim some of this profit that I believe will continue down to these levels. That's how we add these probabilities in our favor. A couple of other charts to take in to note really this week is sterling against the dollar, and we're going to focus here on the monthly and the weekly really, because the monthly is broken down through this level. We've talked about this quite a lot in the free newsletters. Also, you can see here on the weekly what we've got is a lot of you will recognize this little red candle in the sell zone, also rejecting off a level of old support, which now becomes new resistance if tested, and we've tested that and we've rejected that. So this now looks very, very good for a move lower. We have actually broken the low of that candle. It was actually on a gap down, I believe. Either way, it doesn't matter. The low of that candle is broken. It wasn't on a gap down. I apologize. I said that wrong. We are looking good for a move lower on cable. So how do we take advantage of that? Because you know what? The daily is not in a wonderful downtrend. Well, once we get this downtrend in place, once we start to break down below this lows here, I will start to look for opportunities to be selling GBP. That is as simple as that. I like this as a move shorter, but only if it can take out those old lows will I be starting to look for opportunities to get short. Another one to look at as well is Euro Aussie at the moment. If I bring up that chart right now, we can have a look at what it's actually showing us. Euro Aussie at the moment, the monthly and the weekly, a bit confused, not showing us too much. However, here on the daily, let's have a look. We've got a higher high and a higher low. Simple, higher high, higher low, higher high. We've also pulled back into this old level of resistance and support. We're sitting just below that level right now, so therefore we've got an uptrend on the daily. On the lower time frames, we'll also have a very similar type of trend, and it is something that I will consider looking for long opportunities on Euro Oz. So guys, that is a couple of charts I'm looking at. There's not a great deal with clarity out there right now as we speak in terms of trend on foreign exchange markets. However, I just wanted to sort of include a lesson in this video, something that can help you to understand what it is that we professional traders are looking for and how we can decipher what's a good trade and a bad trade, and it comes down to ingredients. The webinar this week that I will be running tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. Auckland, which will be 6 p.m. in Sydney, it's 9 a.m. London and 4 a.m. in New York, is going to be technical analysis precision style. We're going to be looking at how we make decisions, at certain areas of charts that we look for, at what we decide to whether we see a good trade or a bad trade, a good chart for trading or no trade at all. This is a very, very powerful webinar. It's a very new webinar. It's going to be 60 minutes long. We're going to uncover a number of different things that you're definitely going to be able to work with and use. All you need to do to register for this event, Wednesday the 24th of April, 8 p.m. Auckland, 6 p.m. Sydney, 9 a.m. London, is click on this link below. Register yourself right now, guys. Make sure you're on it live so you can ask your questions, and I'll speak to you all then. I hope this has been beneficial. I hope you have a fantastic trading week, and I'll see you all tomorrow evening. Bye for now.